All right, we are rolling.
How do you make these videos? What equipment do you use to make these videos?
Those are questions we get asked all the time. We're going to walk through how we make videos using our phones, what equipment we use, and how we make a video from start to finish.
How do we come up with an idea for our videos? Well, it varies. Sometimes we plan them in advance, and other times they happen spur of the moment.
So let us show you a quick clip of something that we actually planned out and walk you through how we did it. Now, when I say planned, we didn't go through and plan every single thing we'd be doing during this shot. What we decided is we wanted to have a cool kind of day on the town in Barcelona, going around to all these different restaurants and trying at least one dish at every place. We really didn't plan it beyond that. We started walking around, going from place to place. We found dishes that we would like. We tried to keep it to one dish at every place, but some, like this place, there were so many different dishes that we wanted to try that by the time we left, I was so stuffed it was time to call it a day. Most of the time, we're not planning out our videos and we're shooting run and gun style. That's the reason we love the iPhone. It's always in our pockets and I can pull it out and have it going pretty quickly. So let's see.
We both use the iPhone 8 Plus, and Joe has a screen protector on his, and we both have the Pelican case, which keeps it a little bit protected from when we drop it, and we have dropped it.
Well, imagine when you're out, you're trying to shoot, you've got this, you're focused on the phone, it's easy to trip, you lose your balance, and this thing comes flying out of your hand. It's always good to have a good case on it. The iPhone also takes great time-lapse video, and it works very well for slow motion shots. We also use it to take photos. Whenever we have shots where the two of us are just kind of standing and talking at the camera, Kate or I will set up the tripod. We have a small iPhone adapter on the top of it, and that's how we get a lot of our shots. So first thing Kate will do is she kind of, frames up the shot. Usually I'm standing over here somewhere so that she knows where the camera needs to be. So the iPhone snaps right in that little holder. You can see her getting the shot lined up. Get a good idea of where we're going to be standing. And like I said, usually I'm in the shot, so it makes things a lot easier, but can't do that since I'm filming. I would say move a little bit. That's good, and then take half a step to your right. There you go.
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be on your right side. So kind of covering the front of the van.
Okay.
Nice background, looks good, lighting is decent. All right, so let me start shooting and then I'll walk over there. And we also have a few tricks up our sleeves when we want to get a driving shot. For this shot, I got out of the van and climbed up on some rocks to get Kate driving by. When we want to get a shot of the two of us walking, but we don't have a tripod, we'll set the phone down someplace and then just simply walk past it.
Now we also use a mirrorless Samsung camera to take photos.
And a GoPro for those action shots. Now, this little thing is nearly indestructible when you have it in the little watertight case. So we use that for a lot of the adventure shots we get. For example, when we were going down the Bay of Fundy in a little motorboat. We also use it in the van. What we'll do is we'll use this little suction cup, put it on the window, and we get shots out of the van as we're driving. It works really well for that. One of the most important elements of any video is audio. We have 3 different sources. The first are these little lapel mics that I'm wearing. It is the Zoom F1 field recorder, and we use these anytime we need to pick up our voices in a crowded spot, or we're talking about something like this video. I'm recording off the Zoom right now. But if I weren't recording off the Zoom, we'd be getting the audio directly from the iPhone. Now, this is what it sounds like from the iPhone when I'm talking. There's a big difference between this and then when I go back to the Zoom mic now. We also use the Zoom IQ7. This is a little plug-in mic that goes into the port on the iPhone. Now the issue here is whenever we use this, I have to take the phone out of the case, that back in my pocket, and then I can plug this directly into the phone. The Zoom is a stereo mic. It captures all of the sound around you. It does a good job of getting voices as well as ambient sound. So let me turn it on and you can hear what it sounds like. Since Kate is filming with her iPhone, I'm just going to go into the Zoom app and hit the record button. We're now recording. I can set the gain on the microphone so it's louder or lower depending on the surrounding sound. We also have a windsock that goes over top in case of windy situations. Let me just let this go for a second so you can hear everything going on around us. You hear the different crickets and the sounds of nature. You don't get that with a microphone like this. This is what it sounds like with the Zoom F1 field recorder lav mic. This is what it sounds like on Kate's iPhone 8. And this is what it sounds like with the Zoom IQ7 microphone.
Why don't you have a drone? Do you use a stabilizer? I'm going to let Joe answer those questions.
As much as I would love a drone to have and fly around, it just doesn't make sense for us. Again, our style is very run and gun, and anything we're shooting with needs to be right at our fingertips all the time. Something like a drone takes time to set up. You have to be in the right place to fly it, and all sorts of other variables. Yes, it would be cool to get some of those shots, but they just don't work for us. We've also looked into having a large camera. We used to shoot with a Canon 80D, but every time we would bring it out, we'd have to get the settings right just for the lighting. We'd have to attach a microphone and all sorts of other things, and it just took too much time. What we were finding is we were losing the shot, and more often than not, I'd just reach into my pocket and grab the iPhone because it's always there and it's always ready to go. We've looked at other things like a stabilizer, a little gimbal to carry the phone around, but my stabilizer is standing right behind the camera right now. She is great at holding that camera steady and following me around on all of our different adventures. So anytime we're contemplating getting new equipment, we always ask ourselves the question, is it easy to set up and fast to use? Does it work with that run and gun style we have? Also, is it going to move the needle? Meaning, if we spend thousands of dollars on new equipment, is it really going to make that big of a difference in our videos? I bet that a lot of you didn't really notice the difference between when we were using the Canon, which was a $1,500 camera with all of the attachments, compared to using our iPhone 6 at the time. By the time video gets uploaded, it's been compressed and down-resed, so the iPhone video looks almost as good as anything else. Filming is only a very small part of what we actually do. Once we're done, the real work begins. First step is take all of the content off of our devices and put it onto the drives. Now, first step is taking all the video content off of the iPhone. This takes quite a bit of time. It's tedious, but it has to be done. And of course, all the other devices. Each one of these devices has its own memory card. Pull those out, import all the media, get it organized, and then we're ready to sit down and edit. We're both using MacBook Pros and using Final Cut 10 for all of the editing. We don't really use any other software, and in terms of equipment, aside from the MacBook, we have quite a few of these Seagate 4 terabyte hard drives. This is where we keep all of our video, images, audio, etc. for our editing. None of it really goes onto the computer, otherwise the computer would fill up really quickly. I have a pair of Sony, these are the MDR7506 headphones. These are professional quality. They are wired, but they work great. And it's essential if you're checking audio and levels and things like that to have a really good, high quality pair of headphones. I also like to use a mouse. This is the Apple Magic Mouse. It works well. And aside from that, that's really all of our equipment. We try to keep everything as simple as possible because, again, we live in a van. We have very limited space. So the more simple we can keep our setup, the better. In terms of what music we use, we get all of that from YouTube's content library. They have a library full of royalty-free music, so it's one of the reasons that if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, you've probably heard the same songs used in other videos because we're all grabbing music from that library. On occasion, we'll also grab music from Final Cut. It has its own library, but it's pretty limited. Once the edit is complete, we render out the file as a 4K video, and this is the final video you see up on places like YouTube or our website, we'retherussos.com. This has been all about the gear that we use and how we put our videos together. This is just how we do it, And when you go out and start shooting your videos, you need to find your own style and what works best for the type of videos you want to make, because our style may not fit with what you want to do.
And it's perfectly fine to have all the drone, the stabilizer, the 20 cameras, and whatever else you need. Just make sure it works for you. And this is how we do it with our iPhones.
Yes. And the one piece of advice we always like to give to people starting out is use what you have. Most of us have a smartphone with a fairly decent camera on it. Start making videos on that, and if you find you need the bigger camera, the stabilizer, the drone, absolutely go out and get it. But first, figure out what your style is and then get the equipment to support that. If you'd like to see all of the equipment we're using, head over to our website at we'retherussos.com and click on the link for the store. Now I want to thank all of you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.